It's another day with Veterans Claims Ambush. Time to have some fun. Okay? I'm going to go through some IG reports. You can laugh. You can laugh at some of these. It's pretty serious, but you can laugh. Okay, IG works for a VA out of Washington, D.C. Big shots. Most big public companies, that is, companies who sell their stock on public markets, are highly capitalized, etc. They issue annual reports. They have to do this in order to sell their stock to the public and to the bond market. An annual report it's basically a profit and loss statement and a balance sheet. But they talk about what their business is, and they have nice pictures and so forth. Well, the financial figures are checked out by an independent CPA audit firm. I wrote a book about it. It was recommended by the FDIC, the bank regulator, and by the Wall Street Journal and Accounting Today and all that. So it's nothing new. The IG function, as I understand it historically, was created across the board in the U.S. government by Jimmy Carter when he was president. It's a nice idea. Now I'm going to show you how it works. So, big shots from Washington come out. They work for the VA. They are not independent auditors, CPAs, who are working for an accounting firm, and as CPAs, they're licensed in a state, like lawyers. And so you have VA employees coming out of Washington who are going to talk to the field. And one of their jobs is going to be fact-based, but another job is going to be pronunciamientos. And let's watch how that works. You can look these up, and I want you to. You can download reports, read them. This is the report number. You can go to the Inspector General's website, and you can take a look at their report numbers. I think that President Carter's good idea has failed, and what should happen is the IG should be replaced, disbanded from all these federal agencies, and on a rotating basis, reaching like a lottery number into the jar and pulling it out, qualified outside independent CPA firms should come in to do these audit-style functions. Probably save a lot of money, and if it's good enough for Wall Street, it's good enough for me. I have extensively studied reportage of financials in annual reports. So if a company said the annual report review was done by our internal audit division, nobody would buy their stock. You get the point. All right. So this is the report. Here's the title. The VBA, Veterans Benefits Administration, inadequately supported permanent and total disability decisions, P&T disability decisions. How is that possible? If you want to impeach a federal witness in a federal court or a federal tribunal, you must overcome the general rule of law. Now, a federal judge is required to use this general law, which is, and this is Supreme Court on down, a federal employee should be believed if he is testifying about things he has done in the ordinary course of his government business. They are presumed to be truthful and correct. Truthful and correct. In court, you can impeach them. It's hard to do, but you can impeach them. The OIG is going to impeach VBA in a way that you cannot. Well, you say, isn't that good? Could I use this in my, since the IG is impeaching people, could I use that in my claim? Could I use that to show that VBA is not to be believed? The answer is no. No, you cannot. Internal audit functions are considered, it's not that they're private, this is published, but they are considered to be a remedy, and therefore it cannot be used for general impeachment purposes. The VBA, this is page 2, this is the summary. You can get the whole report. Manages VA's disability compensation program, true, which pays benefits based on a veteran's degree of disability, ranging from 0 to 100%. False. It's about unemployability. You are paid based on unemployability. You are not paid simply because you have a disability. When veterans are found 100% disabled or unemployable due to service connection disabilities, right? Has to be service connected. If they are found 100% disabled or unemployable, right? VBA must also consider whether veterans qualify for P&T disability status. That statement is false. You can be service-connected, Stephen Hawking, the example, but you may not be unemployable. You can be in a wheelchair with ALS in the throes and direction of death, but you are not unemployable necessarily. You may be, but you may not be. That's not the point of this report. Listen to what I said. This is not the point of this report. The VA Office of Inspector General examined whether VBA staff cited adequate medical evidence, demonstrating that the veterans met statutory, the law 38, Title 38 U.S. Code, requirements for P&T status. Get ready for this. The review team found that 61% of the decisions sampled did not cite adequate medical evidence. Now, accountants use sampling. Okay, so you can have a situation where you are talking about unemployability. How did you come to that decision? They don't have to read every one. They can take a sample and they can extrapolate from that sample. These are VA employees from the OIG. How many of them are doctors? How many of them can read peer-reviewed medical journal articles from NIH website, which extracted from JAMA, Lancet, Harvard Medical Journal, Journal of Neurosurgery, etc.? The answer is none of them. Now, not a good day. I'm kind of burning up. Now, 61% of the sample said they did not cite. Didn't mean that there wasn't sufficient medical evidence. They didn't cite it. And the error resulted in 15,100 veterans received P&T status without this evidence. Do you have a feeling for this? When did this happen? That 15,100 veterans got too much of a benefit because of an error at VBA. And that VBA did not cite sufficient medical evidence. Look at the numbers involved. 38 million. How long did this go on? Not very long. Here we got some dates. And my goodness, it may be 84 million more over the next 5 years. That's over $100 million. The review team, this is the OIG, determined that VA's, here it is, Adjudication Procedures Manual. See this? ADJUDICATION. You are in litigation with them. This is a major league admission. When I say you are in litigation with them, I am now showing you they say it. You are in litigation with them. They have an adjudication manual. Have you seen it? Don't you think you should see it to find out what they are up to? All of these manuals are available on the web. Get a copy. If you can't read it, your lawyer can read it. I am not your lawyer. I am begging you to get a lawyer for your own personal legal advice. Do you understand? They have an adjudication procedures manual. This is litigation. You are in the forest. You are in the ambush. You didn't know this. Okay. The statute requires makers to be reasonably certain because it may continue for a veteran's lifetime. And the manual allows the people adjudicating the claim in the regional office to take these decisions. But we don't want you to do that. So a team comes down from Washington, D.C. to where? What do you mean they? So an internal voice comes in and says, you screwed up on 15,100 claims over a defined period of time, not 10 years, not 5 years. You have to stop that. Yes, the manual says that you can reasonably take these decisions, but you better stop. This is internal. This is word from management. As you look at this, what's missing? 15,100 of these things, PT 100%, they're saying were probably in error. How many signatures from how many supervisors are required in each case? These are 3 signature cases. 3 signature cases. 100% is a big deal. It's a lot of money. You're dealing with someone who needs every cent of it. This is not lightweight stuff. 15,000 cases, 3 signatures. There were 45,000 management signatures, 3 for each of the 15,000. There were 45,000 management signatures on these decisions. And the IG comes in and says, you better stop this. If you do 100%, you better stop and think and satisfy our new standards, because the old standards don't work anymore. Who on the IG team read the medical evidence? In other words, if VBA isn't competent to read a research article published on NIH that runs on for 25 pages of biology, chemistry, mathematical modeling, and physics, who are these guys? You're in a regional office, and you're a supervisor. You're a big shot. You're a GS-14. You see this. What are they telling you? What are they telling you? They're not saying the decision was wrong. They're saying the file has to be built up. With what? Do they tell you with what? No. What this is a threat. That is my interpretation of this public document. That is my opinion as an individual. OIG recommended VBA provide staff with appropriate training on the updated procedures. Really? So that means when they were denying things back then, they also didn't know what they were doing. Or did they know what they were doing denying things, but not know what they were doing when they were approving things with 45,000 management signatures? You see the balance? They didn't know what they were doing when they were approving. Ergo, we may, by extrapolation and sampling, say, well, they also didn't know what they were doing when they were denying. No, you can't say that, because government employees must be believed in the ordinary course of business unless they are impeached by Washington, D.C. And you can't use this to impeach the decision in your case, because it's an OIG document. If this was the secretary who said VBA is incompetent, they don't know what they're doing when they do this, you might be able to use it. You can't use this. Okay? Know what else? It may not be right. My opinion, this is a message. All right. That's it for today. Subscribe to this because it keeps getting deeper and deeper. This is a college level course. It's based on documents. It's boring, but it's important to you. Get your own lawyers. I am not your lawyer. I am not giving you legal advice. I am helping you out with stuff that I have experienced, that I have read. I want to make it clear to you, get your own lawyer. Do you see why? Do you see what you are up against? Okay. That's it for today.